The city of Columbia, South Carolina, is grappling with the horrific death of 13-year-old Kenia Baker. Kenia, originally from Sumter, was a ward of the state living in foster care in Columbia. Her life was tragically cut short, her body discovered in a vacant home on Cardamom Court. The details surrounding her death are disturbing, leaving the community reeling in shock and sorrow. Kenia's death has been ruled a homicide, a tragic reminder of the vulnerability of young people in our community. The case has sparked outrage and grief, prompting calls for justice and increased efforts to protect children. The investigation is ongoing, but authorities have made significant progress, arresting 2 teenage girls in connection with the crime. The case has sent ripples of fear and sadness through the community, prompting reflection on the systemic issues that may have contributed to this tragedy. This senseless act of violence has left a void in the lives of those who knew and loved Kenia. As the community mourns her loss, there is a collective determination to seek justice and prevent future tragedies. The sequence of events leading to the discovery of Kenia's body paints a chilling picture. On January 12, 2025, a 16-year-old girl, now a suspect in the case, was reported missing. A day later, on January 13th, Kenia was last seen in the Hopkins area. Tragically, it wasn't until January 15th that firefighters responding to a fire at a vacant home on Cardamom Court discovered Kenia's body. The fire, later deemed deliberate, was intended to cover up the crime. Adding to the tragedy, the Richland County Sheriff's Department didn't issue a missing person alert for Kenia until January 16th, a day after her body was found. It wasn't until January 18th that authorities apprehended the 2 teenage girls suspected of Kenia's murder. The timeline of events underscores the vulnerability of young people like Kenia and the need for swift action when they go missing. The delay in issuing a missing person alert raises questions and fuels the community's demand for answers. The 2 teenagers arrested in connection with Kenia's murder are girls aged 15 and 16. Their identities have not been released due to their age, but details about their pasts are emerging, painting a troubling picture. The 16-year-old suspect, reported missing on January 12th, has a history of run-ins with the law. Her record includes charges of disorderly conduct, malicious injury, and other crimes. Most concerning, she was wanted by the Department of Juvenile Justice for cutting off her ankle monitor. The 15-year-old suspect also has a troubled history. She is a known runaway and dropped out of high school. It is unclear how these 2 girls crossed paths with Kenia, but their backgrounds raise concerns about the circumstances that led to this tragic encounter. Both girls have been charged with murder, and Fifth Circuit Solicitor Byron Gibson plans to petition for them to be tried as adults. The case has sparked debate about the juvenile justice system and whether it adequately addresses serious crimes committed by minors. Kenia's death has sent shockwaves through Columbia, prompting an outpouring of grief and calls for action. Community leaders have expressed outrage and sorrow, vowing to address the systemic issues that may have contributed to this tragedy. Police Chief Skip Holbrook described the murder as heinous, vicious, and monstrous, emphasizing the need for parental involvement in children's lives to prevent such crimes. Coroner Nida Rutherford, confirming the homicide, detailed the brutal nature of Kenia's injuries, further fueling public outrage. City Manager Teresa Wilson expressed deep sorrow and emphasized the need for community resources to protect children. Councilman Edward McDowell Jr. called for community accountability and vigilance, urging residents to speak up if they see something amiss. Councilman Tyler Bailey urged community action to protect children, extending condolences to Kenia's family and friends. The tragedy has ignited a community-wide conversation about the need for increased oversight and support for youth to prevent future tragedies. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.